Hello and welcome to Rosberry Crafts, my YouTube channel where I share all my crafty adventures. Today is February 24th, 2024, and this is episode 88. My name is Roz and I live in Lake Country, British Columbia, Canada with my husband and my two kids who are 13 and 12. I'd like to say welcome to any new viewers and welcome back to all you returning viewers. I really appreciate you joining me again today for another episode. Before we get too far into things, I am coming up, well, slowly, coming up on 100 episodes of the actual podcast. I know I do other videos on the channel as well, but the episode number is coming up to 100, and for that I'm going to do a special episode where my husband is going to come on and answer some questions, and I will also be answering some questions, so think about anything that you'd like to ask me. I also am going to do a quiz for my husband on some random knitting terminology, maybe things that he wouldn't hear in my day-to-day ramblings about knitting and crochet. Or even sewing, we can go there too, because this is all about the craftiness, or maybe some obscure crafts that he wouldn't even know the name of. So there is a link down below in the description area to a Google form for the 100 question episode, or the 100th episode questions. I don't need 100 questions, just a few. So the 100th episode questions is linked down below, along with everything else that I talk about today. I do link to a lot of Ravelry links, and I understand that's not great for everyone. If you need an alternate link, I'd be happy to find that for you. I do try to put the name of the pattern and sometimes even the designer in the description box as well, so you can always just Google the designer's website and see if you can find that information that way. Hopefully that is enough information for you guys, and let's get on to today's episode. For you, I have what am I wearing, finished objects, works in progress, stash, and some chatter. Let's get started, shall we? What am I wearing? Today I'm wearing hand knit socks as usual. I'm not going to show them to you because that is really super awkward, but I am wearing my Tits Up socks, which is a pattern by Nancy Wheeler. Wheeler? Yeah, Wheeler. I just had a momentary thing and my notes are kind of in line with the camera today, so hopefully it won't be too distracting to me looking around. Yes, so I am wearing the Tits Up socks. I knit these last year, and she, as you will see later, currently has a knit along for her sock patterns. So maybe there's an upcoming whip about that. I'm also wearing my amethyst shawl. This is Amethyst Triangle Shawl by Undeniable Glitter, who is Alyssa. And I knit this actually bigger than the pattern calls for, one skein of sock fingering weight yarn. So I used this lovely purple, and I just was like, you know what? I just want it a little bit bigger. And of course the rows are super long at that point. So I ended up adding the full skein of this Knit Pick Stroll Maple Leaf. So the purple is Knit Pick Stroll Pansy Tonal, and the multicolored one, which has that like same purple in it, is called Maple Leaf. And I made this last year, about this time of year I finished it. And I'm waving around my hats. I'm trying to be prepared and have things in my hands today, but it means, since I'm a hand talker, that you're getting flashes of my finished objects. So let's move on to finished objects. For finished objects this week, it's probably no surprise to you that I have a couple of hats, because I've kind of been on a hat knitting kick. The first one is this lovely green. This is the Bankhead hat pattern, which is all of my hat patterns currently. And it's by Susie Gourlay. Nice long single rib. If it is a child size, so they could, depending on the size of the child's head, pull up the ribbing if they need to. and or if they need a bit more length. So it kind of gives them that flexible option there. This one is out of Loops Impeccable in the Deep Forest colorway. So it's a really beautiful green. I've got a couple ends poking out. I don't know what that's going on. I'll have to pop those back into the other side. I'm not planning on a pom-pom on these, although I do have space at the top. But I did not sew a button on like I normally do. But yeah, that is a fun hat. Throw that up in my gift bin. Yeah, this bin is all either items that need fixing or finishing, such as my R&R hoodie sweater, or gift items. So the second hat is the same pattern, the Bankhead hat, and I had just this tiniest little bit of green left. So I cast on with that, just the cast on, and then I started with this cream. This is Loops and Thread Impeccable Tweed in the Aran Tweed colorway. So it's this beautiful cream with these pops of brown and white and black. And there's like a tan as well. You can kind of see that as the tan sandy kind of color, but I think it gives it a neat detail just having that little bit of color on the end, and that's all I really had left for. So I really used up all the leftovers on this one. So that one is good too. Now I can find some new homes that maybe need some, somebody has a cold head that needs a hat. That is it for finished objects. Let's move on to works in progress. My first work in progress is, surprise, surprise, a Bankhead hat. So I'm kind of on a use up all my leftovers kick. I thought I had more of this cream left, but I did not. So I started this one in the orange, knowing that I was going to finish it in the orange. And I did one round in the orange as well. And then I moved on to the cream. And I did the full ribbing in the cream, and that is where I ran out. So I did two around where it was just knits to switch over to the orange, so you get a nice crisp line. And I had, you know, maybe I could have gotten one more round in the cream, but we'll call that good on using up all of the cream. I did make the adult large size with this one. So it is like, it's a big hat, guys. Again, they can fold it up. I woven the ends in such a way that they can fold it up. So, but yes, I am starting the decreases now. It doesn't look like it, but I have started the decreases. So this hat will cinch in pretty quick here, and pretty happy with it. So again, this cream is the Loops and Thread Impeccable Tweed in Aran Tweed. And then for the orange, this is a Loops and Thread Impeccable in the pumpkin colorway. So it's the same as the green. Oh, I did a pearl in the middle there. Oh well. You can really see it on camera. I'll just show you this side because there's no mistakes. Mistakes just mean that it's definitely 100% handmade by somebody, also who is not a perfectionist. So yeah, there we go. Hopefully somebody likes orange, because I probably got enough to do one more Bankhead hat. I'll weigh it and see which one I think I can do. But yeah, it's a fun color for sure. And then I think that will be it for my Loops and Thread Impeccable stash. I still have some bulky here that I'm going to use up for other hats. But yeah, it's also good for like movie or TV knitting. We have a theater room, which is just a bedroom that we've turned into a room with a screen. But yeah, it's dark in there when we watch movies. So I do have a neck light. Maybe I didn't bring it with me today, but at some point when I remember, I will endeavor to bring it with me. And it's got 3 different settings on like how much light shines down. The heads are kind of adjustable, so you can kind of point them up or down. It works great. But I don't like to have it on all the time. I just turn it on when I need to like check and fix something, or like, ooh, am I on a pearl round? I don't know. And I guess I should have turned it on a few more times with my hat last night, because we watched Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, and I got quite a bit of the hat done, but clearly I made some mistakes. But I'm not going to go back and fix it. If people are picky about it, then they don't deserve a handmade hat. Next up is a hat I've been working on for a few weeks, and again, a pattern I have made many of. This is my Musselburgh, I'm calling it my shipwreck Musselburgh. So here it is. I'm worried that it's too big. Maybe I should try it on. I mean, my hair is already a frizzy mess, so. Did you notice I cut my hair? I went without layers this time, and I'm quite happy with it. It definitely gives me a bit of a triangle, but I think it looks good. Anyway, back to the hat. This is Musselburgh by Isolde Teague, and I think I'm on my 9th or 10th one. I can't remember. It tells me in Ravelry, but I don't know. And it is out of some deep stash. This is called Yarn Love Joan of Arc in the Shipwreck colorway. And it's these lovely water and beach and wood colors. And it is striping up beautifully, exactly how I wanted it to. So I am very, very happy. Let's see, should we try this on? Oh no, this is perfect. Oh yeah, because it's going to be double thick. So it's going to be a little bit thicker than this. Oh yeah. I mean, it's pretty stripy at the top, but then you get these beautiful stripes down here. Lovely. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Okay. Try not to bump the mic too much while I fix my hair. So yeah, that is my on-the-go knitting, because I'm at the point now where it's just round and round and round, and I have it in my little dumpling bag, which is easy to throw on my purse or have in the car. And yeah. So that is a fingering weight yarn. The beauty of the Musselburgh pattern is you can knit it with like basically anything. I have a new work in progress to show you today, and I have some socks. It's been a while since I've had some socks on the needle, and yeah, basically Nancy Wheeler posted about a sock knit along that she's doing that started on February 17th, and I just was like, oh, I could do that. I love her patterns. And I had this one in, and you can't really see it very much, a little bit there. I had this pattern in my library already, so that is excellent. The pattern is Hexy Diamond Socks by Nancy Wheeler. And it has this beautiful kind of cable-y pearl knit texture down the leg of the sock. And then I think for the foot, I mean, I'm definitely not doing it on the bottom, but I don't think I'm going to do it on the top either. So today, as I mentioned before, I'm wearing my Tits Up socks, which is by Nancy Wheeler. So it has a cable pattern and it goes all the way down the foot. When I'm at home, it's fine because my slippers don't press too much on it. But when I wear shoes, then like I get that indentation in the top of my foot. So I don't know. I did on these ones, because there is the cable and the kind of texture within the cables, I did a 72 count cast on instead of my normal 64. And so maybe I will do the texture on the foot and see if that makes a difference, if the socks are just a little bit looser, because I do find with my Tits Up socks that they're a little bit snug, because I did the 64, which is my normal vanilla sock cast on, but with the cables, it sucks everything in more, so it's a bit snug. So I'm going to try the 72, and if it doesn't fit me, it'll fit somebody else. Oh, and the yarn, I don't even think I do have the yarn label. The yarn is Cascade Heritage in their hand-painted sock yarn. It is 75% merino superwash, 25% nylon, and this is the color 9926. So it's probably an old label. I have had this for a long time, but yeah. So Cascade, good quality workhorse yarn. It has nylon in it, so it's perfect for socks. It is a tonal yarn. Like, it's definitely red. There's like darker reds and it goes darker and lighter a bit. But it's definitely tonal, which I think will help you be able to see the texture pattern a bit more as opposed to something variegated. Okay, that's it for those socks. Last up is my Choose Your Own Adventure. I know that that clues have completed now, and I don't know if they've posted like pictures of the finished shawl or anything like that. There was some errata in the last clue, so that's still being worked on. I am on clue 4. So if you don't want to see up to clue 4, you can skip to the next section, which is stash. Otherwise, stick around and see my shawl. I have made some significant progress on it again this week. The rows are getting longer now, so it's not going to be as many inches high in progress, but guys, oh, it's really hard to show because it's A, it's dark, and B, I need a bigger needle, I think. But look at that lace. It's beautiful. So it's kind of a stacked lace, and I am loving it. So again, it's really hard to show. Let's see if I can, it's getting so big. Which is the right side? Here's the right side. Okay. So we've got, I'm going to have to spin it. Hold on. So clue 1 with my lightest color, transition. Yeah, transition. Clue 2 was the mesh lace, transition. Clue 3 was texture, which you don't see a lot of because of the variegation, but that's okay. I know it's there. And then clue 4. So I probably have like one more repeat, because how many have I done? 1, 2, 3, 4. So I've got 2 more rows to finish off this repeat, and then I think one more repeat will get me to the right number of stitches. I still have a fair bit of yarn left of this color, so yeah, so using that up. The yarn that I'm using is Fireweed Fiber Co. in her Sweet Pea Sock, and the color is Dreams of Winter Light. So it's progression from light to dark with that purple in there. Clearly I love purple. We'll just go with that. Yeah, so it's a beautiful 6 skein fade. I don't think I'm going to have that much left over when I'm done, so it's going to be a very large shawl, and I'm okay with that. That is it for works in progress, and we will move on to stash. Stash this week, again, I'm kind of commandeering this section for something entirely different, and I'm going to put in now some footage of some stash things that I did this week. So you may have recognized a few of the things. The first is the ripple camisole. I have ripped that out, and I have the yarn here. So it's all wound up. It's I think 150 grams of it is what I have. So a skein and a half, and it's all wound up. It's a little wibbly wobbly. You can kind of see, oh, it's blowing out. Anyway, it's a little wibbly wobbly, but not enough that I felt like I needed to soak it. So I've just kept that in the ball there, ready for something in the future. And the other one is my Fireweed Fiber Co. I still really want to do the Stormborn shawl, but this is way too variegated, and with the sparkle and everything, you're not going to see that beautiful lace pattern. So this is Fireweed Fiber Co. on her sparkle sock. Yeah, sparkling sock, which is a 90% superwash merino, 10% lurex. So you get that, like, it's super sparkle. It is super sparkle, but I love these colors. I have 2 skeins of it. They're a one-of-a-kind colorway, and I love it, and I just need to pick the perfect project to go with it. I'm thinking a tee of some kind. I haven't fully decided, but I think a tee. I don't know. It's gone down to the kind of the bottom end of my list now. Next on my needles are some items for the kids' teachers, because June will be here before you know it, and I like to make them something for their end of year gift. So that is it for, oh no, for Stash That. I don't have the other yarn with me right now because it is soaking wet and it's out on a towel drying. Hopefully I'll be able to have that yarn all wound up again before I put this episode live, but we will see. So the other one is, the other yarn, this random yarn that I'm talking about is, actually I'll pull this out because I have it right here. This is a skein. Oh no, I'm tipping everything over. This is a skein I didn't even start yet. So this is some Cascade 220 in the heathers, and it is silver heather or something like that. I don't know. It's a very light gray color. This skein was never used for the poncho, but I did use 5.5-ish skeins for Taylor's poncho, which she never wore. So I have now ripped it out, and I'm hoping to make the Snow Wonder sweater by Heidi Kiermaier. Kiermaier. I don't know. For next winter. I'm hoping to make that sweater for next winter. And yeah, so the yarn, I used my ball winder, as you saw in the footage, to rip the sweaters out. It's way easier than doing the like manual thing where your arm gets really sore. But that yarn had been washed and blocked into the item, so it was super, super ramen. So I wound it on my skein Swift. I don't know what to call it anymore. Words are escaping me. So I wound it onto my Swift to make it back into a skein form, tied it up. Because I'm not dyeing it, I don't have to tie it like super loose so that the dye can get into those places. So I just did it nice and tight. I'm trying to get some of the ramenness out of there and some floof back to the yarn. So it's drying right now, and then I will wind it back up into balls and then swatch with it. I'm going to swatch, because most of the sweater will be knit out of the yarn that has already been knit and washed and balled up. I am going to knit the swatch out of that yarn, because there is going to be a slightly different consistency to it than the one that has not been used at all yet. So I'm going to swatch with that and go based off of those details. And then when and if I need more yarn, I have a ball and a half that has not been knit with that I can do for, you know, the endy bits if I need to add it in. They are all from the same dye lot, so I'm not worried about alternating skeins, because they are not a hand dyed yarn, they're a machine dyed yarn. So if they're machine dyed and from the same dye lot, you don't have to alternate throughout. Obviously, if I see a big pooling issue or anything, then I might change my mind on that. But that is an upcoming project. The yarn is you know, a beautiful wool, and I'm really into sweaters right now. So I think I would get a lot of use out of that sweater with a nice, you know, simple pattern on the front. Hopefully I would have put a picture in so you guys can see what I'm talking about. That is it for stash, and we will move on to chatter. Not much to report for, you know, things going on this week. I did get my Tea Runner subscription, and I put a picture up on Instagram of the box. It was a really neat way they package it up. The box is really good quality. The tea was packaged nicely. It's got like a little window on it so you can see the actual tea leaves in it, and a good description on the other side. And I'm excited to pick 4 new teas for next month. I've tried 3 of them. I haven't tried the blueberry, blackberry, cinnamon, whatever. I haven't tried that one yet, but Mike had some of it and he enjoyed it. So I guess I'll have to have some of that tonight when I have my herbal tea. I've been having cold 911. Hopefully you can't hear it too much, but my voice is still a little tired from being sick a couple weeks ago. So it's like the never-ending cold. It just doesn't go away. I don't have any finished books this week, but I am listening and reading a few, but I haven't finished any. Because what happens is that I have some in my Kobo Plus subscription, and I have some that we actually own the books, and then we have some that come in from the library. But the library ones I have for a very short amount of time. So I've got kind of the set that I read, and then as soon as something comes in from the library, I switch over to those books, and then when I finish those, then I switch back to my Kobo Plus or books that I own, because there isn't a time limit on those ones. Anyway, that was a very long explanation to say I don't have any books for you this week. Yeah, it's just been a very quiet, regular week around here. And, but I have been knitting a lot through the evenings and getting a lot of progress on my shawl. So I'm hoping to get into the next clue. I think clue 5 is the rest week, and then there's 6 and 7, which is the border. So I don't know. Anyway, I will hopefully get into the next knitting section this week, and I want to see how the next yarn works up, and I'm just so excited about it. So I've really been kind of focusing on that a lot. And then the hats obviously are the go-to in the dark or on the go projects. That is all a repetition of what I said in Works in Progress. So I'm going to call that good for this week, and we will see you guys again next time. Bye.